Biohazard warning. Entering contaminated zone. Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted.
What's going on, agents? The time has come and the underground is officially open. As usual, you know where my mind went as soon as I logged in this morning, and that was straight to the weapons. Seeing as the terminal has a weapons vendor, I was wondering how they're going to split everything up. Is it everything in one place? Are they both going to have something? I found the answer I was looking for, and it is simply awesome, as you will see here just in a few. Alright, so welcome to update 1.3. As you can see, the doors that lead to the underground are right down this main hallway, and we will get there in a few. But first, I wanted to show you all that your dude behind the cage, well, he's still useless. Same old stock as before, and I guess useless is a mean way to say he doesn't have anything that I need. But he does have the Centurion, but still, I would have really liked to see, the Pacan or something else rank up to current levels. But I guess that was just a little too much to ask. Alright, well, our first stop, as always, is upstairs to the special equipment vendor number 1. So let's jump up into his menu and see what he has for us to buy in this new update. Yeah, I know, a little disappointing, nothing crazy good, and as you can see, his inventory has shrank by an ass ton. All the blueprints are now downstairs, which we will also get to here in a few, but first, let's go over what he has right here. Now, as you can all see, the Historian is still riding at the top of the list, 677 Phoenix credits and 157% headshot damage. This one is pretty mediocre compared to the sum that we've seen a few weeks ago. Next up, we have a 204 Police Mark 17 for 672 Phoenix credits, 150% headshot damage, which is middle of the road. 270 rounds per minute, 20 in the mag unmodded. Talents are restored, unforgiving, and ferocious. Not too bad in terms of talents, but for the weapon itself, it's pretty bleh. Why use this when you can get an M1A or the M44 below this? Not a good trade-off. Next up, we have a 204 Gear Score Custom M44 for 860 Phoenix credits. Unfortunately, it's only 151% headshot damage, but the damage it has itself is pretty decent. Seeing as its bolt action, it gets 55 rounds per minute with 5 in the mag unmodded. Everyone knows the performance of the M44, and it's hard to beat compared to other bolt actions out there. Talents are restored, destructive, and accurate. This one is one of those type of weapons that would be first in line to get rerolled, guys. Accurate and destructive are great talents, and adding brutal on here would make it almost demigod worthy. It has a lot of potential. This is almost a buy for me. Next up, we have a 182, and I'm going to slowly start not mentioning the 182s, guys. We're now into another bracket of high ends, and 182s are going to be a downgrade for most of us out there. But this week, I'll still go over them. All we have are 182 sidearms on all the vendors, so we're not missing much. This one has Expert and Determined, and the Magnums, they're not a good option when there's other more powerful ones out there, also far more stable. Moving on to our 204 armor pieces, we have a tactical set of knee pads for 335 Phoenix credits with Prosperous as a talent. Now it is sub 600, so not worth the money. The other 204 armor piece are some tactical gloves for 338 Phoenix credits, also sub 600 stamina with Astute as the talent. Now, the 191s, they're also not becoming worth mentioning anymore because they're going to bring most of us down by a lot. Now, unless you really need one piece to unlock a specific talent on a gear set, or you're a fresh level 30, I would recommend a 204 or maybe even a 182 high-end over trying these guys. If nothing else, try to craft a 214 before wasting your credits on these. Alright guys, well the time has come to take a trip downstairs. So, being as it's in another area, it has to load, and it's just as annoying walking through the front door to the base of operations as it is here, only it's twice as annoying and twice as long. As you can tell, this is that load walking kind of thing, and you can't move any faster than what you see right here. Like I said, it is also twice as long. Pretty sure fast traveling is going to be the go-to method for popping in and out of the terminal. I am hating this walking speed. I've done it twice, and I'm already going crazy. But anyway, guys, welcome to the underground terminal. There is more underneath here, but you have to progress something first. I'm not sure if it's a story. Haven't really looked into any of that stuff yet. But as you can see, blueprints have their own vendor right here before heading down to start the underground selection. And over here by the entryway, as you can see, another special equipment vendor. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is Mr. Special Equipment Vendor number 2. Take a look, guys. Double the weapons. Now, yeah, 2 historians, that's nothing fantastic, but this means that each week we will have double the chance to buy something awesome. The weapons, as well as the headshot damage on the historian, is different from the vendor upstairs. So this is kind of awesome in my eyes. Anytime RNG can drop a super OP weapon in a vendor stall, I am all for it, guys. Well, alright, let's take a look. As you can see, this historian at the top has 161%, whereas the one upstairs was, I think, 157. I'm not quite sure, but I believe. Anyway, same talent, so it's no big deal. First, let's check out this Burst Fire MP5. Now, I have yet to see this sold anywhere in the game. A gear score of 204 for 631 credits. This has 42% critical hit damage, which is pretty substantial in of itself. 800 rounds per minute with 32 in the mag unmodded. As for talents, we have Adept, Swift, and Fierce. Guys, Fierce is even more important now than it was before. So like right here, another great example of a weapon that could use just one reroll to be a pretty awesome primary. Next, a weapon that I was telling everyone to look out for at 1.3, and here it is, a custom M870 shotgun. 204 gear score for 672 Phoenix credits, 215.5% stagger. Now, I'm still trying to find out how high stagger rolls, but the talents is where this thing shines. We have Ferocious, Predatory, and Destructive. Predatory is now fixed, unfortunately, so it doesn't heal you like it used to, but it now scales based off of your health, not the enemy's. Nonetheless, this is still a great PvE weapon as is. Reroll this damage closer than 10 meters, something like that. Fierce, maybe even Brutal. You'll have a beastly weapon in your hands, guys, especially if you can find some gloves with shotgun damage on top of Lone Star. That is almost scary to talk about. And like I said upstairs, another 182 sidearm, no big deal. Our 204 armor pieces down here are both masks, roughly cost 380 credits each, and they both have Tenacious as their talent. Not bad, but they are sub 600 in stats. Alright guys, let's take a look at the blueprints vendor now. Now here, there are a ton of blueprints, guys. Not all of them are useful, but if you're looking to start up that Alpha Bridge gear set, this is the only new set available here. It's also at 214. However, look at this little guy down in the middle. A converted SMG-9, 465 Phoenix credits is actually pretty cheap considering the Valkyrie will break your Dark Zone bank and cost like, was it 270,000 or something crazy like that? This thing shoots super fast, and if you can craft it at the higher end of the damage range, it might be something worth messing around with, although it's definitely a close range weapon. Everything else in here we've seen before, a lot of mods, old weapons, and stuff like that. The SMG-9 was really the only interesting thing in here. So with that said, we're off to the DZ. Alright agents, welcome to the DZ, and let's take a look. X45, it's 182. Not too bad, I guess, but this LSW, it's only 163. I was looking at it, it's too damn bad, because this thing would have been a beast, and this thing is something to look out for in 1.3. Well, let's start at the bottom, and as I scroll down, AR fans start to get excited. First up, we have a Socom M1A, still a rank 80 weapon for 102,500 DZ dollars. Unfortunately, low headshot damage at 146%. 300 rounds per minute with 10 in the mag, unmodded. However, the talents are pretty beast. And remember, we can recalibrate weapons now. Always keep that in mind when looking at weapons. This bad boy has Commanding, Brutal, and Competent. Competent isn't really that bad of a talent. Brutal as well, brutal. And if you reroll Commanding, another great weapon could be salvaged here. Next up, we have another converted SMG-9 for 96,000 DZ dollars, also 204, and a rank of 80. 44% critical hit damage, 825 rounds per minute with 32 in the mag unmodded. Poor range, but everything else really is not that bad. This one is also pretty OP. It has Destructive, Self-Preserved, and Fierce. You cannot beat that lineup of talents, guys. RNG is pretty good to us this week. Finally, let's get to the star of the show, a gear score 229 ACR. Check that rank though, y'all. 90. This is where it starts to hurt. Although, if you're a DZ buff, then you're probably already at 99 anyway, so not that big a deal. Another pain is the price, 275,000 DZ dollars, but this is the highest weapon in the game right now. So, 21% armor damage at 760 rounds per minute with 30 in the mag unmodded. Look at everything compared to the MP5 that I have equipped. It's almost equal except range, and that's even better. A little less stability, but that's pretty damn good for an AR, y'all. Talents, Also not too shabby. Provident, brutal, and restored. Nothing crazy OP, but re-rolling to get 2/3 talent that are powerful is a good weapon no matter who you are. Alright, moving on to the blueprints, we have the Valkyria here still haunting us in the blueprint section, but the LVOAC here is the only thing that's worth getting. We also have a tactical 1911. Like I said, the LVOAC is the only one worth getting, but honestly, if you're going to pay over 200,000 for anything, get the ACR. Alright, well that does it, agents. I'm looking forward to the weeks to come where we now have double the chance to grab something awesome and one of a kind from a vendor. Add that to HVTs, the Dark Zone, Underground, and Incursions. We are going to be busy and I cannot freaking wait. But that's it, guys. As always, thanks for stopping by and for supporting the smaller YouTuber. If you want to stay up to date on everything Division or Destiny related, follow me on Twitter at SlyNation. It's the best place to keep up to speed on all of our favorite games as well as new uploads from my channel. Catch you all in the underground and keep an eye out for more videos popping out very soon. Until next time, guys, this is your boy Sly. Done, gone, out.
Ammo inbound. Zone B secure.